It's only a scratch. I'll be fine.
For those that know and they've seen the previous video, this is Chris. He's got a project underway. So, Chris, do you want to just tell us just a recap of just quickly of what you're doing? Because it's a Tiger Avon, I believe.
Yeah, so it's a Tiger Avon that came up for cheap money on Marketplace. I shouldn't have bought it, but I did, and I'm trying to do the right thing by it. I've now found out since I spoke to you last that the body was actually ordered from Tigers back in 2004. So this poor old thing's been around for 20 years already, and it hasn't turned a wheel in anger yet.
But the bodywork, when he showed it on the intro, the bodywork's in absolutely fantastic condition. So it's obviously been stored carefully and indoors somewhere.
The body is immaculate. Now, speaking to Laura at Tiger, her system only goes back to 2004, and this body was one of the first ones that the name that I've got, Mr. Tuvi, actually ordered. But she hasn't been able to trace the chassis yet because she's got to look back through their old handwritten manual records. But there's every chance he ordered the chassis between 2000 and 2004, built the chassis up, and then ordered the body subsequently to go on it.
Possibly, yeah. And yours is the one with what they call the not upgraded suspension, but the better suspension on it, isn't it?
That's correct, because I think the Tiger Cats and the R6, I think both of them retain the Sierra rear trailing arms, and they're good in a Sierra, but they're a bit heavy for a little lightweight 7 replica. So they've on the Avon they made their own double wishbone and upright rear suspension, and it's nice and light. It's graceful. It looks elegant. It's the right setup for that size car. It's got Cortina front hubs with double wishbones on the front as well. So for a little lightweight, balanced handling car, lovely package.
Should be spot on. As you say, you got it for an absolute steal as well. Because I think you said in the previous video, or one that I've seen, that it was worth more in parts. And I think your plans are as well is not a budget build, but you don't want to go mad on it, if you know what I mean. So I know you come on to it in later videos, but just touch on that a little bit.
No, I think you're right with calling it a budget build. I'm going to try and really, really screw the prices down on this one. And if I can get the whole car built, ready for a track day or a hill climb for under £2,000, that's my target. Right then, so you can see what I've got. I'm chuffed to bits with the price. I think it is an unbeatable starting point. But let's talk a bit more about what I want to try and do with it. If we want to turn it into a track day car, there's a lot of people who will tell you, oh, you need 400 horsepower. Oh, you've got a turbo on the side of it. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need that. Oh, you need super high lift cams. You need 12-to-1 compression ratios. You don't really if you're starting out in Lotus 7 sports cars or Lotus 7 style sports cars. They're light. If they're stiff and they're set up properly, 120, 130 horsepower is quite a lot when you get started. So what we're going to try and do with this, rather than spending a huge amount of money on the engine and limited slip diffs and everything else, we're going to run it as a fairly stock 2-litre Pinto and do as many of the tuning bits that we can do for free here. Doing my own head porting, got a tubular exhaust manifold to go on it. We can port the inlet manifold. I want to run a 3236 DGAV twin choke downdraft Weber carb on it. All very tame, very ordinary stuff by today's standards. But I know that when these are set up nicely, these are very exciting cars because they only weigh about 650, 700 kilos. So yeah, that's where I'm aiming. I don't really know how long it's going to take to do. It's now early August 2024. I would have thought by New Year we're going to be pretty much there. And we'll follow it right the way through and see if in the new year we can get it to a couple of training days, like track days or hill climb academy days, and see whether what I think is going to happen actually happens, or whether all my guesses are a whole load of waffle and it's not going anywhere. I'm very lucky in that I've been building cars for a long time, so a lot of the bits that other guys would have to go and buy, like brake pipe and fuel pipe and clips and springs and cables. I've got an awful lot of those already in stock, either from other builds or just general stock. So that'll help keep the price down. I've also got a fully equipped fab shop in the next little workshop just across the side here. So I can make things without having to farm it all out, which again really helps with the price. So in a way, my circa £2,000 build cost is going to be a bit unrealistic for some people that are working with a Black & Decker in a lock-up garage next to the house, because they'll have to farm out a lot of stuff and I won't need to. But it's still an interesting challenge to see if we can still build a nice little sports car for not too much money. We've decided against going through the road registration process and the IVA test, because it adds a lot of cost, it adds a lot of time and an awful lot of aggravation. And I think at this build cost level, we've got to save money wherever we can. So we're going to go just for a track and hill climb special. So it will speed things up and it will keep the costs right down. I'm hoping to show you why we're doing stuff, not how. I don't want this to be a build manual. There's a lot of other people who've already done that kind of stuff. So the reasoning behind, why are we going to put that carburetor on? Is it just a cost compromise? Why are we going to do this to the suspension? What angles are we going to set it at? How I've had to modify it to fit me, because I've had to modify it, I will have to modify a lot to get my big arse in this little car. So hopefully that will be an interesting point along the way. I've got very little now left to spend. I've got just about everything we need to get the car finished, I think, apart from a pair of front wing stays. I've been in touch with the Tiger factory at Wisbeach, which is only 35-40 minutes drive from here, and they've confirmed that the name I've got for the original purchaser is correct, and he bought the body from Tigers in 2004, and Laura very helpfully at Tiger is going to have a look back through their handwritten chassis records to see if she can find when the same guy actually bought the chassis. At least that will give us some history then, so we can work out where we're starting from. I hope this has proved an interesting introduction after the little teaser that was put on a week ago. Progress should be reasonably quick over the next little while. I've broken it down, as I said earlier, into various episodes, and we'll try and keep those going and keep them up to date. See if we can do an update every couple of weeks and turn it into a finished project before too much longer. This poor old thing's been kicking around for 20 years now. It needs to be finished. It needs to get out there and turn its tyres in anger. And I'm hoping I'm going to be the person to do it. So join me in the journey, and I'll see you again next time, which will officially be part 1, because this is the introduction. So part 1 next time. See you there. Okay, so you can see now it's powder coated inch square box section chassis, fairly standard Tiger fare, but it's got reconditioned calipers, it's got nice new discs, all the ball joints are all new, coilover shocks are all new, reconditioned steering rack, and the 2 litre Pinto that came with it I'll go into at greater depth later, but you can see it's got an electronic ignition distributor with it. We've got a Type 9 5-speed gearbox. I've taken the top cover off and had a look inside. The oil's nice and clean and it looks good. So rather than going to the expense of a rebuild at this stage, I'm going to take a gamble and see if we can run it as is. If we run around to the back, again you'll see nice new coilover shocks. All the rear brakes are all new inside the drums. We've got braided stainless flexibles. It came with a fuel pump and a fuel tank. Just lift my little seat off. And the Sierra pedal box. Now I've put a new master cylinder on the front of it because the old one, even though it was new, had got water in it and it had seized. So we changed it for a fresh one. I've made my own engine mounts. Not because I don't like the Tiger ones, but I wanted to get the engine as high as I physically could inside the car, so I haven't got to section the sump too much. Because if we look down here, you can actually see the sump hangs out the bottom of the car. So I've got to section it by about 35, maybe 40 mil, so I don't bash it on the rumble strips when we're going around the track. So if we go and have a look at the body, as we picked it up, this body's never been fitted. There wasn't a single hole drilled in it. Now I've done a trial fit on it, so I've cut the clearances for the front suspension. I've cut the clearances to fit round the corners of the chassis at the back. I've started making provisions for a roll bar, because if we're going to do any kind of track use, I'd like to protect my head a bit. As you can see, it's in very good condition, even though it's 20 years old. There's very few scratches on it, and ones that are on there will polish out. I've done a trial fit on the exhaust, so you can see I've hacked a hole through the side. Got a little bit more to trim out, but not much more now. We wander back through here. I can show you these are the wheels and tyres that came with it. They're a nice new set of TSW alloys with 195/50 by 15 tyres on. So all in all, quite the bargain.